Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. Asia is a continent marked by ancient civilizations and people with ancient traditions, especially the Japanese. Like their genetic neighbors, the Chinese and Koreans, the Japanese have a fascinating and deeply rooted culture. In this video, we will explore possible biblical connections with the origins of the inhabitants of Japan. Have you heard about the biblical influence on the formation of the Japanese people? Do you think the Bible addresses the origins of all Asian peoples? There are many curiosities and mysteries that link the Japanese to the Bible, and that is why I decided to share this content with you. Don't forget to leave your opinion, like, comment, and share with other people who may be interested. This is another episode of our series, The Origin of Peoples According to the Bible. Japan, known in Japanese as Nihon or Nippon, and formerly as Nippon Koku, is an island country located in East Asia, in the northwest region of the Pacific Ocean. To the west, Japan is bordered by the Sea of Japan, while its extension encompasses the Sea of Okhotsk to the north and extends to the East China Sea, reaching the vicinity of the Philippines and Taiwan to the south. Forming part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, Japan is made up of a vast archipelago that includes approximately 14,125 islands. Among these, 5 main ones stand out, each with their own distinctive characteristics. Honshu, the largest Japanese island, where the capital Tokyo and important cities such as Osaka and Kyoto are located. Honshu is the political, economic, and cultural heart of the country. Hokkaido, located in the extreme north, it is the second largest island in Japan. Famous for its cold climate, it has impressive natural landscapes and attracts tourists for its ski resorts and snow festivals. Kyushu, located to the south, it is the third largest island, known for its dynamic cities such as Fukuoka and Nagasaki, as well as for its natural and cultural wealth. Shikoku, the smallest of the 4 main islands, located south of Honshu, it is famous for its serene environment, beautiful landscapes, and the pilgrimage route of 88 temples. Okinawa, an archipelago located even further south, formed by several islands. Although not considered one of the 4 main islands, Okinawa is highly relevant due to its paradisiacal beaches, tropical climate, and a distinct culture that blends Japanese and Ryukyu influences. In addition to its geographical characteristics, Japan stands out for its rich history, cultural traditions, and technological advances, making it a fascinating destination that combines the ancient and the modern in a unique way. Japanese culture and the Japanese people have undoubtedly exerted a significant influence on countries such as Brazil and the United States, where there is a large community of Japanese descendants. This influence is reflected not only in cultural and social aspects, but also in the extensive migrations and historical interactions between the nations. One question that often arises in discussions about Eastern peoples, such as the Japanese, Chinese, and Koreans, among other ethnic groups, concerns their origins, especially in light of biblical narratives. Interestingly, the Bible provides an explanation of origin for all peoples, including the Japanese. According to the Christian perspective, the Japanese, like all other nations, are descendants of Adam and Eve, as well as Noah and his sons. However, there is a common misconception among some people that Asian peoples such as the Japanese, Chinese, and Koreans do not have an origin linked to biblical narratives. This, however, is not true, because the scriptures provide a genealogical basis that includes all peoples, detailing their origins through the lineages described in the book of Genesis. According to the biblical account, after the flood, humanity was repopulated by the descendants of Noah, who had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Each of them gave rise to the main lineages that shaped the various peoples of the world. These lineages, Semitic, Hamitic, and Japhetic, are the basis for the ethnic and cultural diversity we know today. However, this perspective is often not widely disseminated, either due to lack of knowledge or a lack of interest in exploring these connections. In this video, I will explore the origins of the Japanese people from the perspective of biblical narratives, shedding light on a topic that remains little known to many. This discussion emphasizes how, within the Christian worldview, the Bible offers a common origin for all nations, tribes, languages, and peoples, reinforcing the idea of humanity's unity in its diversity. According to the biblical account in Genesis chapter 10, known as the Table of Nations, the origins of various peoples are detailed through the lineages of Noah's sons. This account is particularly intriguing in noting that Ham is said to have given rise to African peoples, including some populations of the Indian subcontinent, while Japheth is regarded as the ancestor of Europeans and some Asians. Meanwhile, Shem is considered the progenitor of the Semitic peoples, such as Arabs, Jews, Syrians, Saudis, and other Middle Eastern groups. When it comes to the origins of Asian populations, the scriptures suggest that 3 of Noah's descendants played an essential role in shaping these groups, including the Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, and Taiwanese. Specifically regarding the Japanese, they are described as heirs to 3 biblical lineages that contributed to their cultural and ethnic identity. One of the most intriguing figures in these genealogies is Sin, the grandson of Ham and great-grandson of Noah. Sin, also known as Sinim in Hebrew, is mentioned as a mysterious figure in biblical traditions, often associated with regions in the Far East of the ancient world. Scholars suggest that Sin played an important role in the formation of various Asian nations, including Japan and China. There is even a video on our channel that explores the origins of the Chinese in detail. Sin, the son of Canaan, is believed to have helped give rise to various populations in the Far East, connecting the Japanese and Chinese to this biblical lineage. This connection often raises the question of how a lineage originating from Ham, associated with African peoples, also contributed to the emergence of an Asian people like the Japanese. The answer may lie in the biological diversity of African tribes. An interesting example is the Khoisan people, a group with distinctive physical features, such as slightly slanted eyes and a lighter skin tone compared to other Africans. These traits suggest that genetic variations may have played a significant role in the formation of different populations. Thus, Sin and his descendants illustrate how diverse mixtures and interactions contributed to the development of Asian peoples such as the Japanese, Chinese, and Koreans. The rich cultural and ethnic heritage of these nations reflects the complexity of their origins, linking them, according to biblical tradition, to narratives that trace back to Noah and his descendants. Another biblical figure who contributed significantly to the formation of the Japanese people is Togarmah, a descendant of Japheth. He is listed as one of the sons of Gomer and the brother of Ashkenaz and Ripath. The term Ashkenaz, found in both Hebrew and Aramaic, is commonly associated with Scandinavia and the Nordic peoples, including Germans, Norwegians, and other Germanic groups. Ripath, in turn, is identified in ancient genealogies as the ancestor of Celtic tribes, particularly in Ireland and other regions of Western Europe. Togarmah, for his part, is considered one of the ancestors of the peoples of the Far East, with his genetic influence seen in groups such as the Chinese, Japanese, and Mongols. Another notable aspect in the formation of the Japanese people is a surprising figure, the wife of Japheth. According to scholars who delve into biblical genealogies and cultural connections, Japheth may have introduced genetic traits of European origin, such as blonde hair, potential red beard features, and fair skin. Japheth's wife, described by some specialists as a woman of Asian appearance, is seen as a central figure in the ancestry of Asian peoples, including the Japanese. There are even suppositions that her name was Asia, symbolizing her importance as the progenitor of these peoples. Furthermore, the fascinating genetic connection between Asian and European peoples stands out, as evidenced by studies on the Xiongnu clan, an ancient Chinese community. Mitochondrial DNA analysis reveals that the Xiongnu share remarkable genetic similarities with various European groups, suggesting a deeper historical link than previously imagined. This discovery reinforces the idea of shared heritage, even though each group preserved unique characteristics. In the case of the Japanese, This ancestry is marked by the combined influences of Togarma, Sin, and, crucially, Japheth's wife. The rich genetic diversity present in Japanese DNA reflects the contributions of various ancestors symbolizing distinct ethnicities. Each of the three figures mentioned played a crucial role in passing on unique traits that over time shaped Asian nations. The peoples of the Asian continent, especially those of the Far East, such as the Japanese, carry in their ancestry the marks of Togarma and Sin. The latter is recognized as a direct ancestor of the Chinese, whose genetic influence is also strongly noticeable among the Japanese, highlighting the complex historical and cultural connections between these civilizations. An intriguing curiosity lies in the ancient designation of the region of China and other areas of East Asia as the Land of Sin, or Land of the Sinites. The peoples of this region, including those in neighboring nations, were often referred to as Sinians or Sinites, indicating a lineage attributed to Sin, the son of Canaan. This heritage was enriched through genetic mixing with Japheth's lineage, especially through Togarma. Historical writings reinforce these connections. Manasseh ben Israel, cited by John Dee, identifies the Sinites as the Chinese and their neighbors, including the Japanese. Claudius Ptolemy, in his work Geography, also uses the terms Land of Sin or Countries of Sin to refer to China and adjacent territories. Moreover, biblical references corroborate this link. The book of Isaiah, 49:12, mentions, "Behold, these shall come from afar, and lo, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sin." Additionally, the book of Ezekiel, 38, refers to the house of Togarma, emphasizing the importance of this lineage to the peoples of the region. These passages demonstrate how the Bible often uses the names of figures from the Table of Nations to identify locations, geographies, and the origins of peoples. To conclude this topic, I hope you have enjoyed this reflection on the biblical origins of the Japanese people. I invite you to share this content with others who are also interested in exploring the roots of peoples from the perspective of biblical creationism. Unfortunately, this information is not widely disseminated, but it holds great value for those who wish to gain a deeper understanding of the history of humanity. May God be with you, and see you soon.